Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Board Game Mechanics. I'm Katie, and with me, as always, is...
Hey, everybody, what's going on? It is Jason.
I know it's been a while. I don't know, things are just insane in my life right now. But I've missed you all, and everyone has been so good about commenting on Facebook groups, and I just love hearing about people playing games. I have not played a ton of games lately. I don't know why, to be honest. I felt like I was in a brain fog for a long time. But lately I've had a lot of free time to myself, so I'm hoping that the game playing will change at some point.
Well, we were also not playing games on Thursdays and Sundays either, so that put a little damper on everything.
That's true. Rory's cheer season is almost over, which has taken a lot of time for everyone and a lot of drama because we can never find all the pieces to the uniform. We can never get ready on time. You know, the usual.
Yeah, I love it. It's fun.
Yeah, it's been the opposite of fun, but talking about games with you guys is fun. So we're back, episode 302. Jason's done a few by himself. If I'm furloughed much longer, I'll probably do one by myself. I'm just having trouble deciding on what topic to talk about. I've got a few. They're okay. But in order for it not to devolve into me rambling, maybe someone could suggest a topic for me in the comments on any of our socials where this is posted. So without further ado, we will bring you some news. And Jason actually is joining me on the news because one of his beloved games that he was so resistant and railed on at first, but I convinced him to try, is having a Kickstarter.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to lie. I did rail on it because the price was outrageous, and I still stand by that.
But you still bought it.
That's correct. I did. Because after playing it once, it's like, wow, this is fantastic. So the game I'm going to talk about is the newest expansion for the Dark Tower, the Return to Dark Tower, and it is called the Return to Dark Tower Expeditions. And this is basically adding more characters. So you're going to get 4 more characters. But what this also does is it adds this side. There's these 4 different sideboards that you can add. There are different kinds of like leagues. One of the examples in the Kickstarter is the Brass Bound League. And what you're doing is the players share this pawn on this board, and you're moving this pawn around this map to try to get as far as you can. But as you move it, you got to pay your resources. So you may have to pay the blue resource, which I forget, Spirit, or you might have to pay Warriors. And you're collecting these tokens, and you're getting different type of benefits. You also have some different torments that you're trying to battle off on the side of this. So it just makes an already hard game even harder. But it gives you, maybe a distraction. It's probably a distraction to help you lose faster, but another way to play the game. But I'm excited about the characters. The characters are a mariner, comes with a cool boat that you can travel around with. There's an ascetic, a clever tinkerer, and a druid. And all the minis look really cool. I don't really care about that. I care about what their powers do, so I'm really excited for that. So if you like the Dark Tower and you want more of the Dark Tower, there's 12 days left, 11 days by the time we drop this. And the deluxe version is $99, and the regular retail version is $45. And if you want everything Return to Dark Tower, 250 bones. 250 bones, which isn't actually terrible.
Yeah, for all of it from the beginning till now?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's everything. Yeah.
Wow. I mean, I know you really like this game, and I actually do like this game, and we've played it with several people, including one of our friends, a couple that they are not deep gamers, not big gamers, but the husband especially requested this game like by name after we brought it over once, and they really enjoyed it. And even though I always manage to lose the game for everyone, I still like it. One time I did help everybody win, so I feel like I'm still riding on that high.
It's also a good game that you can play by yourself too. Like you can bust out a couple characters and just play a game for a while, which is kind of fun. That's how I play it a lot. I'll get 2 characters and just play. But yeah, it's fantastic. I love it.
Okay. Well, the next one I want to talk about is an expansion for a game that I love. And I have talked about, I don't want to say ad nauseum, but whenever it comes up, I gush about it. And that is Obsession. I love this game. I love the designer. He is adorable, has adorable cats, is thoughtful and just really mindful of pricing and of his game in general. And that's kind of where this Kickstarter comes in. So this is Obsession, Rules Compendium, Victorian Big Box, and Playmat. And I know Jason has looked at this some because obviously we want to back it.
I did back this. I backed it the day it dropped. So it's backed.
I know, that's what I said.
Okay, sorry. I thought you were saying I was waffling on the backing. No, I did back this.
No, I said we've obviously backed it because we really like this game. It's such a cool game. So if you've not heard me ramble on about Obsession, it is like Downton Abbey, the board game, in a lot of ways. It appeals to all the Victorian Regency kind of things that a lot of us love, and but it's fun and I think really very simple. A lot of people get overwhelmed by all the stuff, and I think that this box hopefully will also help with that. But really, each round you are picking an activity, having people come to that activity, and staffing that activity, and then you reap the benefits. So great. So there have been 4 expansions for Obsession, and let me tell you, a lot of box, which Jason legitimately hates.
I do. We have 2 boxes right now, and it's ticking me off.
I don't understand why that's such a big deal, but it is, and he likes to have everything in 1 box. So it has been solved. That has been solved for us by wonderful Canta Games. And there is a big box that says everything will fit in there. Everything. Which is insane. Not only everything, but some added things. One of the things that also makes it hard for me sometimes to teach Obsession, because the setup can be a lot, and there's stuff to kind of pull, like to set aside, like maybe we don't want to play with all of the expansions. It just is difficult. If you're playing with an expansion, there's different rules. There was like little cards to try and help, but they were all different. That has all been combined into a compendium. Also, I love that word. Thank you for using the word compendium, Dan. That's so great. I really think that having the rules in all in one place is super helpful. Ability to see cards, to have them kind of like spelled out on what you can do for the unique guests and things, because sometimes we kind of had to guess a little bit about what that meant and when you can use that. It's also interesting is they have one all about solo, like an appendix about the solo people. It's supposed to really help with the integrated setup for all the different expansions you've got. And now there's a playmat. So before you had a couple different boards and just kind of, I mean, they went, but sometimes they got jostled and they didn't go right together. And now there's this one lovely, beautiful playmat. It looks really nice. And that also fits in the box, which is so amazing. He does an unboxing, which I know Jason watched, and it's really cool. It makes me love this game even more. So I'm really pumped. You can talk about it if you want.
Yeah, I mean, anything that can help me set this game up, because that's part of the reason why I never want to play it, is setting the tiles up, putting the appropriate tiles in the bag, getting all the appropriate help cards, making sure you have the right decks of cards in the game. It's just a pain in the neck. So any kind of box that will help me make it so I can be ready to play quicker, I am in. And that's what I'm hoping this will do. I don't think it's going to be as good as I want, but it's going to be better than what it is right now, because getting stuff into the regular size box was a challenge. And the playmat is sweet too. Gets rid of all those boards. It's a nice looking playmat. Has everything printed on it, and yeah, I'm in. So maybe we'll be able to play this game a little bit more now with all this.
And we've been saying multiple times, like, man, we really need a big box for this because it's a lot of shuffling around and trying to squeeze things in. And that's the game I'm the worst at, is putting the stuff back in the box the way it was. I lose that game every time. So having this is so great. So long story, not short. There are 15 days left on the Kickstarter for the Rules Compendium, the big box, and the playmat. You can get all the different pieces separately, but there are all the different, like, what's the word I want to say? Different combos and different items have a fun little name, like Wessex and whatever, which are the names of the houses, the families that are part of the game. But the York edition is $59, and that's for everything. So the compendium, the box, and the playmat. So if you like Obsession, and is he selling the game with this on this one too?
No, he just released the game to retail, and he didn't want to step on retailers' feet, so he's not releasing it with this. That's what he said in a update. Okay,
so if you don't have the game, go to a retailer and buy it. This game is good. I'm sure we've done a video about this, right?
Yeah, we have a couple videos on Obsession, I think.
And I mean, there are any number of podcast episodes where I go on and on about it, explain it, talk about how I love it. So check those out as well if you are interested in what I've been talking about. So that is the Obsession Kickstarter for the compendium, the big box, and the playmat. 15 days left and $59 for all in. And that's all I've got today for the news.
All right, let's move on to some games that we have played, because Katie has played some games, even though we haven't played a lot.
I guess that's true. I forgot.
Yeah, you played some games. So the first game we're going to talk about, we're going back to Katie's childhood. And my childhood, too. I don't know why I'm saying that was my childhood, but I didn't play this game.
Play this.
I didn't play this game. But I picked it up. I found a copy that was not unbearably expensive, and I wanted Rory to play it. And this game is called Dream Phone. Now, if you don't know what this game is, this is basically a deduction game where on your turn, you're trying to figure out which boy wants to ask you to the dance or has a crush on you or whatever. I don't know. Who cares? But you're trying to figure out the boy that likes you. And what you're going to do is you're going to have some cards in front of you of boys' names. And you're going to dial the number on the card into this phone. And it's going to give a clue. It could be a private clue, and it's going to say something out loud to everybody that's not super helpful, but that's going to give you a private clue just in your own ear. But sometimes it will say, like, I'm not going to tell you that secret or something like that to not give you the clue, and you just wasted your time calling. And what you're trying to do is you're trying to figure out who the boy is by narrowing down, like, what kind of clothes they're wearing, what kind of food they're eating, what location they're at, and all that kind of stuff by the clues that the phone gives you to be the first person to pick your dream guy or whatever. There's 3 little cards you can play on other people too, where they have to put it on speakerphone so you can hear the clue. You can make them, your mom can make them hang up and all that kind of stuff. Really fun little game. Not one I would have played when I was a kid, but I like playing it with Rory and Katie. And of course, Katie wins, but great. It's a great game with a cool gimmick, and having a phone that works is amazing. And I'm glad that I have it now. So, yeah. So what do you think about your renewed play of Dream Phone 30 years later?
Oh, my goodness. Yeah. So this came out in 1991. One of my best friends had it, and I definitely played it at her house, sitting on the floor in her living room. And I remember thinking that some of the boys in this game were actually cute. But, oh man, it is some dated outfits.
They did not age well. None of those boys age well.
They did not. But yes, I love Dream Phone. It's that and Mall Madness, definitely 2 games that stood out to me from when I was younger. They're like gimmicky in a lot of ways because the big phone is gimmicky. I was almost unsure that Rory would know how to use it. Because
she asked me how to use it. She did.
But it's kind of like a different form of Clue in a way. just with an electronic phone, and you're instead of who killed who with what, you're just trying to find out which boy likes you. And
and you don't have to move around with a die too, which is super annoying. So
correct, that does help because there's no roll and move element. But you're also drawing cards and like calling numbers and trying to figure out, narrow it down. Like the boys are kind of in groups at different locations, and some of them are eating something, some of them are playing like a sport, they're wearing certain clothes. It's all in like neon colors. Hideous. I mean, so 90s. Very 80s, 90s looking. And when I played it, I liked it, but I was also thinking, wow, this was so easy.
It's easy for some, okay? It also doesn't help when the guy tells me that he's not going to give me a clue 4 cards in a row.
I know. I know who likes you, but I'm not telling.
Yeah, that's a stupid clue. I hate that. Hate that thing. It's like, sorry, out of stock. Try again later. From stupid Mall Madness.
Yeah. But I think you get 3 cards, like a share a secret card, speakerphone card, and then mom says hang up. Like playing those at the right time, I think is super helpful too. Yeah, it's stupid fun. It definitely brings back memories. High nostalgia value for Dream Phone.
Yeah, I mean it's not a complicated game by any means. You play a card, you dial a number, and you listen to what it says. That's the whole entire game. but it's fun. It's entertaining. The phone is fantastic too. That's some good technology for the 90s. I still think it works and holds up pretty well.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, so going back to another old game. This is a game that's based off of our oldest daughter's favorite restaurant, and it's called the McDonald's Game. And this is a roll and move game because all these games are, these old games are roll and move. And what you're trying to do is you're taking on the role of Hamburglar,
Mayor McCheese.
Yeah, Mayor McCheese, Ronald McDonald, and Grimace.
Grimace.
And you're moving around this board to try to collect different ingredients for your restaurant. So there's like cookies, apple pies, shakes, a whole bunch of sandwiches, and a drink. Okay, and you're trying to keep your restaurant in stock. You get these little cards, you can put it in this little card tray. Your restaurant's in stock. But the point of the game, the whole crux of the game is when you're going to land on the McDonald's space. Whoever lands in that space is going to order from all the other players. They're going to read this order card, and the other players have to remember what they want and be the first player to take this marble and put it in the middle board to let them know they get to go first. And they're going to give the player the items that they want based on if they remembered it well. The trick here is my memory stinks, but also at the end of some of these cards, it may change the order. So someone may order all this stuff. Then at the end, it's like, oh, replace the hamburgers with 3 Big Macs or whatever. So then you're trying to do all that and be the first player to get all this done. It's a race to 25 points. Every item that you can sell correctly to a customer, you're going to get points for. If you have overstock, you can sell them back, which is weird for a point. I think we played it at the end. We started playing it correctly. The rule book's not great. It's like 1 page. And we were playing it a little bit wrong early on and hurting ourselves. But it's okay. It's not as good as Dream Phone. It's not as good as some of the other old games we have, but the theme is fun, and the little marble thing in the center is a good time. So, how do you feel about this one?
Yeah, it was a little clunky because it didn't work out quite right. I don't know if you were playing it right, but I wanted to be Grimace because I do love Grimace. I think I was Grimace, or was I Mayor McCheese? No,
you were Grimace. Yeah,
I like Grimace. It does call back to like my childhood when you could have a birthday party at McDonald's and the little seats were hamburgers and the Fry Kids. It was again nostalgic, but I don't know that we needed to have it unless you're kind of starting a collection of vintage games. So maybe we did, but yeah, I guess I'm glad I played it once.
I'm trying to get some deep cuts and then some games like Dream Phone. I actually wanted for Rory, like, because I know that's like a solid game. But then there are some that I like vintage games that are different, and I thought Rory would enjoy the McDonald's theme. So yeah, that's where we are with that.
Okay. We're looking for Girl Talk Dateline. That's the next one.
That's true. That is the next one.
Date night or something. I can't remember.
It's
that one.
Dateline. It's got like this cool cassette player that runs like you put clues in and it comes out the radio, which is awesome.
Yeah.
All right. So moving on to a game that's not vintage, but feels very vintage. And that is a game that was just reprinted from the same company that did the game Hot Streak, which I'm a big fan of. And this one's called Magical Athlete. And this game is from, I think, 2011 or something originally. And in this game, this is a roll and move. So it fits with the theme of the games that we played. Everyone's taken on the role of these 4 like weird magical athletes. There's 4 races. And you have 1 athlete for every race. And what you're doing is you are rolling and moving, trying to be the first or second player to cross the finish line to score points. The trick here is every athlete has a special ability that they do. So maybe there's a character that instead of rolling a die, you can just move 5. Or there's this blimp that if you're in a certain part of the board, you can move an extra 3. But if you get to another part of the board, it moves you -1. There are some that when they run past somebody, it makes them fall down. Or like I had this fish that if I was on the same space as somebody and they moved, I could move with them, like a sucker fish. So there are a whole bunch of different ways that the powers break the roll and move part. And you're just trying to play through 4 races and get the most points. That's it. There's 2 sides of the board. There's a basic side, and then there's a wild side, which adds like extra moving forward, moving backwards, and some falling down. But that's it. I think it's fun and silly, good time for what it is. It's just roll and move race with some chaos. It's kind of a party game style, like along the same lines as Hot Streak. But I had a good time. I played it, I think, 3 times now, and each time I like it. I will say the more people you have, the better. I played it at 3 and it wasn't as good, but playing it at 4 was pretty good. And it plays up to 6. I think 6 will be chaos and pure fun. So, how did you feel about Magical Athlete?
Yeah, I liked it. I just like Hot Streak. I hate the artwork.
That's what I like about it. I like the funkiness.
So the box looks worse than actually the little racers inside. I like the look of some of those guys.
Correct. The box is not good.
But the box is woof. I think it was still good at 3, but yeah, there's not as much interaction. But I think at 6, it might be too much. It has the potential where everyone's player powers are kicking in like every round, so no one can really get ahead or move. But I don't know. I haven't played it at 6. I would like to try. I like this one. I think I do like Hot Streak better, maybe. Although I am always terrible at betting, so either I lose real bad or I win real big at that game. And this one, I feel like I had more of a chance because there are some other ways to get points, even if your characters don't win the race. But thinking about like what special powers you want and when to use those particular racers, I think adds like a higher element of gamerness to this than something like a strictly race game.
Oh yeah, and I compared it to Hot Streak. Hot Streak is just a betting game. This one, you're actually kind of making some decisions on, which racer do you want to race, how you going to use the power, do you want to use the power, all that kind of stuff. So that they're similar in the fact that they're races, but they do play kind of different, and they have crazy art. That's kind of where they are similar. But yeah, this is a fun game. I haven't played it at 6, but I would like to try it. It might be chaos, but it could be fun. So those are the 3 games we have played. Let's move on.
Okay, we probably haven't done a joint episode since the cons of the summer, maybe. But now there is another con, the big show, and that is Essen. And I don't know if anyone's heading to Essen. Maybe one day in the far future we'll be able to go. But there are some really cool games. I mean, it was a huge list of games that are going to be available at Essen in one way or another. So we have gathered 5 games for each of us. There's some overlap. There would have been some overlapping. We try not to make that happen. So that way you get as many games, 10 different games, of games that look really good to us and that we want to check out. So, Jason, what's your first game that is interesting to you at Essen?
All right, so my list is going to be surprising. It's a lot more small games, but those are just the ones that grab my attention more, and those are the kinds of games I've been playing more, which is kind of why I was focused on those a little bit. But the first one that I have it listed at number 5. Numbers are irrelevant. The first one is a game called Biddle, Biddle, and it's from AMIGO. And this is a little dice game. It's a dice betting game where players are going to be, you're going to be rolling some dice. There's going to be 6 dice rolled, and there's going to be a card that's flipped. Say the card wants values between 20 or 25, or it wants 3 of a kind. And someone's going to say how many rolls they think it will take to meet that challenge. Everybody else will either call, bid, or pass. Once everybody's either still in or has passed, you're going to go into 2 teams. There's going to be a team who thinks they can meet the challenge, and there's going to be a team who cannot, who's going to bid to see it, or bet to see if the other team is successful. And you're just trying to roll dice and fulfill these cards and score some points over the course of 10 rounds. Whoever has most points wins. Simple little card game with some dice that looks pretty fun. So, and AMIGO's been killing it. So anytime they have a new game out, I'm interested. So that's kind of why I put it on the list. So this is Biddle from AMIGO.
Yeah, I have liked the last couple games we've gotten from AMIGO, and I'm sad that AMIGO America or US or whatever is going out of business at the end of this year.
Yeah, that is sad because chapter 3 was amazing. Or 3 chapters.
It was.
3 chapters.
3 chapters. So good. A plug for a different game entirely. The game I want to talk about is a game that the subject interested me first, and the artwork on the cover is beautiful. And that game is called Bohemians. This is from Portal. And it's a game where you are like artists wandering the streets of Paris, which is where starving artists should be. And you're trying to create masterpieces. So it's card-driven games. You're kind of building almost tableau of cards. You're collecting them, and you're going to do like a day's routine. So it, in some ways, that reminds me of Let's Go to Japan, in that you're kind of mapping out a day's itinerary. But as an artist, you are deciding, like, what are we going to do today? Are we going to go on a date? Are we going to be in a social event? Are we going to meet our muse? Are we going to create art? Are we going to go to work? And so all these different cards, including like your muse and these different things, some habits you might pick up, they kind of get built into a deck. And so the cards like interact with each other and interact depending on like where they are to give you bonuses based on if they're at certain points in your day or how they're lined up. I think that's really interesting. So you're trying to get achievements from the achievement deck. So as you're playing, you can spend inspiration that you get through, you know, these social events and whatever to purchase cards and build your deck to make it better. And also allows you to get achievements. I love a deck builder. I love this kind of planning thing. Apparently the prototype of this won a bunch of awards at like a festival in Denmark. That's good enough for me, man. So I thought it sounds really cool. So that's Bohemians.
It sounds cool. Portal has me intrigued sometimes, but sometimes, I don't know, I get scared because their rules are bad.
Well, who knows?
Yeah, that's true. It's a crapshoot. All right, my next one is a game that's based on a game that I really like, and that game is Celestia. And this is Celestia Duo, and this is a completely different designer. This one is actually designed by Bruno Catala, because, you know, when it comes to duel and duo games, him and Antoine Bowser are kind of the gold standard. So what this does, it takes Celestia, which is a push your luck game where you're trying to be the first player to get 50 points. And in this one, makes it a 2-player cooperative game where it's the same concept. You're moving these little airships around, and you're going to these cities, and you're trying to determine if you want to fight the ambush by rolling the dice and then playing cards without having to talk. You can't talk about the cards you're playing. Or if you want to use that island to refuel, which means you can get new passengers and fix your ship, because if you take too much damage to your ships will sink, and that's why, or crash. I guess they're not in the water. They'll crash, and you will lose the game. So you're trying to manage when you want to fight the ambush, when you want to refuel, and you're trying to get as far as you can I think, to win. I don't know how you win, but I know how you lose. It looks really cool. I don't love limited communication, but I like Celestia. I think the cooperative nature could be cool, and Bruno Catala has me intrigued. The art's gorgeous, so this is one that I wanted to check out a little bit. So that's Celestia Duo, and it's from the company BLAM! Just like that.
The art and Bruno have me intrigued. Otherwise, I think I would just rather play straight up Celestia.
Yeah, the art on this one's almost better than the other one. It's really good.
Really?
It's really good.
The next game on my list just speaks to me on so many levels. And it's a card game called Tax the Rich. Oh, yeah. It's a trick-taking game. This is from a publisher called Alion by Dr. O or something. I don't know. Alion. I don't know. Whatever. So this is a trick-taking game, and I love their tagline is climb the social ladder or kick it over. So you've got these characters in the deck that are various social ranks. You've got everybody from super poor to the president. And so you'd have a bidding phase that helps you determine trump color and how many tricks you're going to take. And if you do that, you get bonus points. And you have partners. So you and your ally work to get the required number of tricks that you bid, right? So at first, the highest social ranks are the strongest cards. But if at any time, I guess all the cards in your hand have a flag symbol, which some of them do, you can trigger a revolution. You reveal your cards, and suddenly the lowest ranked cards become powerful because it's like tax rich, right? So you call for revolution, you're publicly exposed, and you play the rest of your round with your cards open. But now lower statuses are the strong cards. I mean, what, right? Also, I guess there's different, I think 13 different variations that you can use. It can give certain character cards can have player powers, like workers can unionize, or billionaires take a power grab, or the police can stop and frisk. And so those can add different rules, which I think is also really cool. And there is another variant, which is my favorite. You can collect cards that all have a feminist icon on them to trigger a feminist revolution, and all the female characters get a boosted value. Yeah. So to me, just on theme alone, and also I love trick taking. I definitely want this game. So that is Tax the Rich.
Oh yeah, sounds cool. A trick taking game with an awesome theme is always fun, and that's more relevant than ever right now. That's all I'll say there.
I'm filled with rage.
Yeah. Another theme that you really like is my next game, and this was going to be on your list, but I put it on mine first. And this is The Great Library from Vital Lacerda and published by Eagle-Gryphon. Now, there's not a ton of Uncle Vital. Yeah, there's not a ton of information on this. The BGG page is just basically the theme of the game, and it says you take on crucial responsibilities of leading the institution within a word I can't pronounce, navigating the challenges and opportunities presented by the legendary Center of Knowledge. And then it says it's a worker placement game with some tile placement, connections, and matching. The pictures make it look like a beast. It's got tons of tracks, tons of places to put tiles, a huge player board like Lisboa size with stuff you can take off and put on. I don't know much about it. I haven't played a lot of Vital's recent games just because they're way, way outside of what I want to pay for a board game. And I don't really have people who want to play, 3-hour Vital Lacerda games that much. But this has a cool theme, and this could be one that maybe, me and you could play together, because of the theme. So I love Vital. I love his games, and this had to be on the list. So that is The Great Library.
Yeah, I belong to Vital Lacerda games group or something, or I follow Vital on Facebook, and I've seen a lot of postings about this, and I love this theme, and I love all the tracks. It looks more like The Gallerist and games of his that we really like. So I really want to play this. My number 3 has the sweetest theme, and yet it's also one of my favorite types of games, which is like detecting and deduction. And this game is called Winnie the Pooh Serious Detective, which is just adorable. The artwork on this box is adorable. It's not actually like the Disney Winnie the Pooh look, but it has the characters. And there's this little bear wearing his like gumshoe outfit, and it's so cute. So this is from Crowd Games or Crow D Games. Crowd, I don't know, whatever. So it's taking 3 different stories that are classic childhood stories. So A.A. Milne, Lewis Carroll, Arthurian legends. That's Wonderland, Camelot, 100 Acre Wood. So you are involved in these different worlds, which I love and are very familiar. So there then like something strange is happening, and there's these mysteries that are occurring in each of these different worlds. And actually each case is illustrated by a different artist, which I think is really cool. And there's this map, there's interconnected location cards. Everybody has like shared and personal action dice, which I don't always love, but you are using them to uncover clues. There's testimonies, observations, there's puzzles. And as a group, you work to crack this case. So it says it's designed with adults, but it's accessible for like younger players. So I think like Rory and I played this absolutely adorable children's deduction game, which for life of me, I can't remember what it's called.
Detective Charlie.
I was like, it's adorable animals. So I think she would like to play this with me. Even if it does say like 12 plus, I think playing it with a group of mixed ages could really work out. So that's why I'm interested. Winnie the Pooh, Serious Detective. Seriously adorable.
Yeah, I love how Winnie the Pooh's not like exactly like the cartoon. He's like a little like, he looks a little more grizzled, but still cute. Mm-hmm. It's really cute. All right, my next one is another little card game, and I put it on the list because I love Push Your Luck, and this game is all Push Your Luck, and it's called Camelio, and it's from Little Rocket Games, and it's all cards, plays in 15 to 20 minutes, and basically what you're trying to do is there's 4 different colors of cards, and what you're trying to do is on your turn, there's going to be a face-up card, and there's going to be a face-down card. You can see what the face-up card is. It's going to have some kind of color and then a number of spheres. You need 5 spheres of that color to score a point. But the face-down card is going to give you some kind of information what's on the other side. It could be one of 2 colors. It could be 3 colors and a random number of spheres, so you know that it's 2 spheres, but you don't know what the color is. And then on your turn, you're either going to take the face-up card or the face-down card, and you're going to give it to either yourself or another player. You can't look at the face-down card before you pass it or keep it. So if I really need like a 2 red, because I have 3 spheres already, but I know that card's red, but it has 3 spheres. If I go over 5, I bust and I lose all those cards. Once you get 5 spheres, you score. But then if you score that color again, you lose the color you just scored and the 5 that you already have banked for a point. So you're trying to really manage the colors that you're trying to get and not, get too overzealous with one color. Looks fun. Looks simple. I like Push Your Luck, so it had to be on the list. And it's chameleons. That's the theme. Cute little chameleons. Kind of looks like Colorado. So that's my game. Camelio from Little Rocket Games.
You do love Push Your Luck. This sounds like some other games. Like there are elements of knowing part of the information.
Yeah, Gacha. It's like Gacha because Gacha has information on the back that shows you like what kind of character's in there. Mm-hmm. In the machine, but you don't know which one you're going to get. It has a similar vibe to that.
I picked a game that, oh man, in some ways it's about forestry. So maybe think of woodcraft, but it's not like woodcraft. It's called Ringyo. So this is a theme that I really love because you are a daimyo, you're this feudal lord, and you've got to oversee your personal province. That's really cool. Artwork's beautiful. Kwanchai Moria. Love the artwork. Also, the publisher, Paverson Games. Love them. Those guys are my boo. Okay. Dave Brubeck, right?
Dave, I don't know what his last name is.
I think I'm right. I don't know. Anyway.
I don't know.
I love them. I've talked about their other games before. This one looks great. So you have, what I love is they called them your skilled forestry samurai. So you've got your players, your workers, and you're putting them out there to, like, they can cut down. There's 4 different types of trees they can cut down. And those different things can go through combinations to make castles or farms or all the things that you need to build in your province. Or Edo. So there's also like you are supporting the shogun that's in Tokyo or Edo. So you're also doing kind of both. But what also happens is you have to be sustainable, which I know sounds like super like tree hugging, but it's really more like planning for the future. Like, you do have to forecast. Like, you have to work on forest regeneration. So there's planning, there's looking at it, there's fostering growth. You got to have future trees. You can clear the land and stockpile a bunch of stuff, but then there's also weather things that happen. So if you don't have any trees there, flooding can happen, or there can be destruction, or you can have some fallow fields that won't grow again. So you're kind of balancing what you need to build your province, what the environment's giving you, what the head honcho, the shogun, also wants from you. And it's simultaneous action selection on your province, which I think can be super helpful in a game that does seem a little bit meatier, because sometimes some people just take forever. And it's nice. It does keep, I think, everyone involved when there is at least some element of simultaneous action selection. So I think that really good, because it's really good. And then you can get, if you're fulfilling things for the shogun, like, he's going to give you some gifts, and there's some game end points that you can get. So it's just like this really cool balance of all these different things to manage. And I love that kind of thing. And I love the theme, and it's beautiful. So yeah, that's why I would love to get my hands on Ringyo.
Yeah, there's like no information, no pictures, just the blurb on BGG for this. It's crazy.
Yep.
The box is cool.
It is.
All right, so the last one I want to talk about is kind of a push your luck, but it has some deck builder too. And it's from Dranda Games, that reprinted the Isle of Trains game, which I really enjoy. And it's called Jackpot Set the Reel. And this is a deck builder that's a slot machine. So on your turn, you're going to have 10 cards in your hand. You're going to shuffle your deck up, and you're not allowed to move the cards. So however they get into your hand, kind of like Bonanza style, is how you have to play them. So on your turn, you're going to take 3 cards that are next to each other. Any 3 cards, as long as they're next to each other, you're going to put them out on the top row of your slot machine. And what you're trying to do is you're trying to get 2 cards of the same that are next to each other, because that's going to give you a little bonus token. Or if you have no cards that match, you're going to get a coin. But if you get 3 cards that match the same symbol or wild, you're going to score some points of that kind of symbol. And you're trying to be the first player to get to 35 points. Then when it's your turn again, you're going to take 3 more cards, make another row, do all that again. When it's your turn again, 3 more cards, make your third row. And then whatever card you have left, you're going to pass to the neighbor on your left. So you're going to kind of just pass a card around to make it a little random. Then you have to pick up all those cards, and you got to take a column, put another column either on top of it or behind it, and then put the final column either on top of that or behind it to build your deck as you go, so you can kind of get your icons next to each other to make better slots moving forward. It looks really cool. It's interesting. It's a cool take on deck building. I like the slot machine theme. I don't play slot machines, but I think the theme is cool. And the way that deck building kind of works, where you have to kind of put your deck together instead of shuffling it, is intriguing to me. So this is one that I wanted to talk about. And that is Jackpot Set the Reel. Art's fine. It looks like a slot machine, but the game looks fun.
It's like most of the games that you picked, except for the VTOL game, are super light. I find that interesting.
They really are. I don't know. That's just the ones that caught my attention more. I don't know.
The last one I thought for sure you would talk about because it looks like it has so many things that you would love. And it's called Orloj. Orloj. I don't know. The Prague Astronomical Clock. So this is actually, it's a real thing, this astronomical clock. So you're kind of part of assembling and creating it. So this, I mean, the pictures of this board and even the box, it looks
gorgeous. Like a Vital game. It really does.
It is so beautiful. It's by Perro Loco Games. Don't know anything about them.
Yeah, never heard of them.
But so this is like an ancient astronomical clock, right? So you are the master builder. You're going to complete this. You're going to add to this calendar. There's all these things. There are like things that turn, like, oh my gosh. So you're placing workers on the clock dial to gain resources and do actions to work on building this calendar, right? Which very much reminds me of Zolkin Mayan calendar, which is very good. You can also hire assistants. You're going to also instruct this bell tower, which you will need. And that's like, then you're developing knowledge. So there's tracks that you're moving. It's like tracks and rondelles and gorgeous color. Like there is just so much that looks so flipping good about this game. Like as soon as I saw it, I'm like, this is my kind of game right here. This is Jason's kind of game. Apparently it's quite heavy. It's a 3.42 out of 5 according to the BGG scale. But you've got your action retrieval kind of things. You've got your rondelles. You've got your tracks, your tech trees. You've got in-game bonuses, which is my personal favorite. You've got worker placement. I mean, there's a ton of cool stuff happening here. Also gorgeous, Czech Republic, locate, like this is like grounded in a real place, a real thing. And I always think that's cool, but this looks like such an awesome game. So my last one, Orloj, Orloj, the Prague Astronomical Clock.
Oh yeah. Of all yours that I didn't put on my list, this is the one that I want to play the most. It looks amazing.
It does. I think, I don't know. No, this is a different one than the other one I was thinking of. I don't know when we can buy a copy. Don't know.
I don't even know if it's coming to America. This is a Spanish publisher. So, yeah, who knows?
That would make me real sad because this game looks so unbelievably good.
The cards on BGG, some of them have English, so that's a good sign.
I know there's several different publishers listed, like not just Perro Loco, but Bohemian Games, Tesla Games, and Vagabond Games. So I'm hoping like one of those might be like, and like be able to get it to the US.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
All right. So those are the games. I mean, there were tons that I wrote down that I thought were cool. Like as far as honorable mention goes, there were a few games that have been out for a long time that I just didn't know about that I thought looked really good. There were also a few expansions, like there's an Earth expansion that I'm interested in. Rebel Princess, which is a trick-taking game that I adore. There is a Zombie Princess version. Hello. I love it. That sounds really awesome. That's right up my alley. There's an expansion to Galileo.
Yeah, I did see that. That looks awesome.
It does look awesome. So there are just so many really good things. Looking at this actually made me excited about games again, which is sad. Like it's not that I don't get excited about them. It's just sometimes everything gets so caught up in I'm over people with, they're always looking for what's next, what's new, what's the new hotness. I hate that. We hate that. And
yeah, I mean, we talked about the McDonald's game, for the love of Pete.
Right. Dream phone. That's what we're trying to get. Girl talk Dateline. I mean, But still, we have the privilege of having a very large game collection. And sometimes I feel like, well, what more could we want? Because we do have so many games. But I think what Jason's really been shooting for lately is trying to curate our collection to stuff that we really love. And I'm trying to get him to keep games that we really love, but maybe don't play all the time. Because I like the idea of having both really good games that we maybe only play once in a while, but they're so good that we really enjoy them. And also games that get played a lot with various game groups. So I think seeing that there are some really good games out there, really fun ones that speak to the kind of things that we really like to play, even things that we think would be fun for other people. That to me, I really like, because we go to game stores a lot and walk around and I'm like, oh, we have that one. Oh, that one's good. Oh, I didn't like that one. And I have something to say about every game. There's usually nothing that surprises me. And I really think some of these games are surprising in how interesting they look and how good I think the gameplay could be.
Yeah, I agree with everything you said. I didn't get as excited as many. I got more excited at some of the little games because I feel like card games have really gotten more creative, especially on like trick taking, or you can pack a ton of punch in like little boxes that you can take with you anywhere, and that's kind of what grabbed my attention here. But one game that is on my honorable mention is a game called Pompeii. It's got a hideous box. And it looks like a really cool Euro game about, trying to prepare for Vesuvius erupting and all that stuff. Not like the other Pompeii game we have, Escape from Pompeii or whatever. Like, you're not trying to throw people in the volcano. You're actually trying to prepare and move on. But that's the one thing the one thing that I wanted to talk about that wasn't on my list because it looks like a fun game and something that I would be into. So. But aside from that, I got nothing else that I want to talk to from that standpoint.
Okay. Well, you've heard what we are into, what we're looking at. And I'd love to hear more about what you guys are not only interested in that's coming out at Essen, but that you're playing, that you've bought, your thoughts on curating a collection, your thoughts on the games that we chose, your thoughts on what I should do a solo podcast about. So please hit up all of our socials. Comment on YouTube, on Facebook. We have a hashtag The Riveted Facebook group that you're welcome to join. Just randomly chat. It is no judgment. It is not political. It is just a good time talking about games and being nice and polite and human, good humans to each other. There are some other ones. We don't really use the TikToks or the Twitters.
Yeah, occasionally. I post pictures on Twitter mostly. I post an occasional video on TikTok, but yeah, it's mostly just there just in case.
I'm a boomer, as Jason always says, even though I'm like a Gen Xer, but I don't need all that. So I just use Facebook. So if you specifically want to talk to me, send an email or send something on Facebook and I will see it. Otherwise, Jason just has to relate it to me.
Send her a postcard or send her a message by carrier pigeon or, something like that.
I would love, I did mention someone sent me like a card or with a little letter, a little note in it. And that I loved that. I miss the days of pen pals. I got to tell you.
You would. It's called emails now.
I like pen and paper. I just love that.
Sit a pen and paper next to you while you're typing an email.
No, this has devolved. I don't think you have anything else good to say, do you?
I do not. No, I'm just going to keep making fun of you. That's it.
Awesome. All right. Well, I've been Katie.
And I'm Jason.
Keep gaming, everybody.
Keep gaming.
Passenger pigeon, really? You know I hate birds.